Have you ever parked your car in the blazing summer sun, only to return to what feels like a literal oven? I mean, you leave your car parked in 95-degree heat for just 45 minutes, and you are absolutely asking for trouble. And no, tossing some cheap $15 silver circle against the glass won't solve it. We've all seen those. They leave massive thermal gaps that just keep your cabin sweltering at well over 120 degrees.
185 degrees Fahrenheit. That is exactly how quickly your dashboard temperatures can rocket in just 45 minutes of exposure to 95-degree ambient heat. We aren't just talking about a mild, sweaty inconvenience here. 185 degrees is hot enough to physically warp your plastic trim, literally fry your expensive touchscreen displays right from the inside out, and leave you with actual blisters when you try to grab the steering wheel.
Look, I learned this the hard way on a road trip through Scottsdale, Arizona last July. The ambient air outside was a scorching 112 degrees. I left my truck facing direct sunlight, without a shade, for 45 minutes while I was sitting inside a diner. When I got back, I physically could not touch the steering wheel.
Right, and we actually measured that phenomenon. In that exact desert heat, leather steering wheels hit a blistering 192 degrees on our infrared thermal gun. It gets worse. In one of our tests, one of those cheap suction cup shades literally melted its plastic cups directly onto the glass, leaving these permanent burnt rings.
This extreme heat does way more than just make you sweat through your shirt. Baking your interior like that causes toxic chemical vapors to off-gas straight from your vinyl dashboard. It quietly fades your cloth seats and silently destroys all that expensive electronic hardware hidden in your dash.
Exactly. Choosing the right sunshade for severe hot climates isn't just some cosmetic choice or comfort upgrade. It is quite literally passive insurance for your vehicle's interior.
So if you're on a budget, you have to look at the EcoNour 2-piece collapsible sunshade. It rings in at a very wallet-friendly $15 to $22.
For under 20 bucks, it's a massive, undeniable upgrade from those ultra-cheap nylon shades you find sitting at the gas station. It uses a universal fit design, but it's made from 240T titanium silver-coated polyester fabric, and it's supported by 2 flexible spring wire rings.
Let's get into the hard data here. At 100 degrees ambient outside, our baseline heat test showed the EcoNour impressively dropped the dashboard surface temperature from that incredibly dangerous 185 degrees all the way down to 128 degrees. Plus, it blocks up to 99% of UV radiation. The practical reality, though, because it relies on 2 overlapping flexible panels, you are inevitably going to get some light leaks around the top edge in the rearview mirror assembly, but honestly, it collapses down to a tiny 10-inch disc in seconds, so tossing it under the seat for storage is an absolute breeze. To understand why this matters, you have to understand the radiant heat rule. When the air outside hits 100 degrees, the air inside a sealed car rises by about 1 degree per minute. Within half an hour, you're hitting 130 degrees. Radiant heat bouncing off an unshielded dashboard basically turns the car into a convection oven.
Right, and that's exactly why the EcoNour is so vital. It cuts that radiant heat dramatically for roughly the price of a fast food lunch. It provides instant relief for anyone on a strict budget.
But if you want a genuinely tailored fit, you step up to the KUST Custom Fit Double Layer Sunshade. This one is priced between $30 and $40. The great thing here is KUST cuts these shades to the exact dimensions of your specific vehicle. It features a 210T reflective silver exterior, and that's backed by a really nice high-density black heat-insulating inner lining. This officially takes us from universal guesswork to exact dimension performance.
In our 105-degree ambient thermal test, the KUST held the dashboard temperature down to just 112 degrees. That effectively beat the EcoNour by 16 full degrees.
I absolutely loved testing this one. Because of that exact fit, it completely eliminates those super annoying light gaps around the A-pillars and the rear-view mirror cluster. You get absolutely 0 edge light leaks. It's basically complete dark room coverage inside the cabin.
I'll admit though, it takes some real muscle memory to get that figure-8 twist right on the heavy double-layer insulation.
Muscle memory? Come on, you look like you were out there fighting a steel slinky in the parking lot.
Okay, fair enough. But look, for $35, getting that level of precision dark room fit makes the KUST the absolute sweet spot for value-focused buyers.
Now, our thermal cameras revealed a massive issue that most people completely ignore: rear-view mirror gaps. You can have the most reflective shade on planet Earth, but if there is even a 2-inch gap around your rearview mirror or driver assist camera pod, radiant heat bypasses the barrier entirely.
And that gap acts like a magnifying glass. It allows heat to bake your interior, ultimately spiking your cabin air temperature by up to 25 degrees all on its own.
The warnings definitely don't stop at heat gaps. There is a very popular product category right now that is actually wreaking havoc on cars, those trendy umbrella-style sunshades. We're going to reveal exactly why they can permanently damage your windshield and dashboard in a minute. But first, let's look at the premium tier of thermal defense.
If you demand precision engineering, you absolutely have to look at the WeatherTech TechShade. This one ranges from $65 to $75. WeatherTech essentially brought their famous laser scanning floor mat technology straight to windshields. It's clever because it's a dual-purpose custom roll-up shade. It has a bright reflective silver film on one side for summer heat rejection, and then a dark black reverse side designed specifically to absorb solar heat in the winter to actually help thaw frosted glass. Here is a staggering stat for you. In our 105-degree Phoenix summer field test, the TechShade maintained a dashboard temp of exactly 105 degrees. It perfectly matched the ambient outside air, meaning absolutely zero heat buildup on the vinyl. Sure, the performance is flawless, but because of its sturdy foam core, you have to roll it up like a yoga mat. I'm telling you, trying to maneuver and store a 30-inch rolled cylinder can be a real hassle if you drive a compact car. We also have to bust the myth that a tinted windshield brow strip is somehow enough protection. Sure, it reduces glare for your eyes while you're driving, but solar radiation still passes right through the unshielded lower glass, completely cooking your lower dashboard and electronics. And because the WeatherTech completely seals off that lower section perfectly, it is an absolute no-brainer investment for luxury cars, modern electric vehicles with massive digital dashboards, or heavy-duty trucks loaded with sensors. Now for those serious desert commuters, we have a longtime favorite, the Heatshield, the original custom sunshade. This one sits comfortably between $45 and $55. They use a flexible metallic polyester film that's laminated directly to a soft foam core. It's actually available in traditional bright silver or a really sleek gold finish, and it delivers high-end custom roll-up performance at a slightly more accessible price point than the WeatherTech.
In a 100-degree ambient test, it kept the dash at just 108 degrees. Guys, that is a massive 77-degree reduction compared to leaving an uncovered windshield. I really love the scratch-free soft stone border on this one. Unlike cheap shades that use hard plastic edges that inevitably scratch your leather, the Heatshield just glides in smoothly. Just a huge warning here though, because of the soft foam core, you must roll it. You cannot fold it. If you crease it, you will permanently damage its structural rigidity.
Okay, now for my absolute favorite, the Covercraft UVS100 Custom Sunscreen. This one is priced from $80 to $95.
I just have to ask, why would anyone in their right mind spend almost $100 on a sunshade?
I'll tell you why. Because it isn't just a thin, flimsy sheet. It genuinely feels like actual body armor built specifically for your windshield.
The UVS100 features a highly rigid triple laminate construction. It has a solid 1/4-inch foam core, an outer reflective fabric layer, and a beautiful soft felt backing. We took this thing for the ultimate test in Death Valley. With an ambient temperature of 110 degrees, the UVS100 kept the dashboard at a mind-blowing 102 degrees, completely blocking 99.9% of solar radiation.
Plus, it completely solves the dreaded yoga mat storage hassle. Because of its rigid vertical panels, it drops into a quick 4-second accordion fold. It never sags and never droops, and it won't unroll on its own. Look, after feeling a dashboard in Palm Springs that was literally cool to the touch, despite it being 110 degrees outside, I freely admit that $90 investment is totally validated. It is truly the undisputed gold standard for high-end vehicles. Now, we really need to talk about the massive hidden danger of those trendy umbrella-style shades. They have completely exploded in popularity lately because they just seem so convenient. You know, just pop them open like a rain umbrella inside the car. But there is a severe flaw in their design, and it has absolutely everything to do with extreme heat physics and rigid metal parts. Think about it. Your windshield glass can reach 170 degrees under direct, intense sun. When the rigid metal frame of that umbrella shade sits directly in that heat, the metal naturally expands. Those tiny metal tips exert massive, concentrated pressure right against the fragile edges of your glass. If you have even a minor stone chip, this pressure can trigger a massive stress crack in an instant. Plus, deploying those sharp metal joints frequently scrapes up your delicate soft-touch dashboards and touchscreens. Always stick to soft fabric borders. The second big mistake involves your car's modern tech. If you buy a cheap universal shade that leaves a wide gap around your rearview mirror, all that radiant heat builds up directly behind the glass. And that heat specifically targets your forward-facing collision cameras. It can completely overheat them, straight up shutting down your advanced safety systems until the cabin eventually cools down.
you must always ensure a snug fit around that camera housing.
Here is an absolutely crucial everyday tip to avoid thermal shock. Never blast cold AC air on maximum high defrost the second you step into a superheated car. Blasting freezing air against 170-degree scorching glass is literally the #1 cause of turning tiny invisible rock chips into full shattered windshield cracks. Always turn the vents toward the seats first, open the windows for 30 seconds to vent out the trapped hot air, and let the glass normalize its temperature gradually.
So, for maximum budget value under $25, the EcoNour gives you fast relief that fits right in a door pocket.
For the smartest overall mid-tier purchase, the $35 KUST offers an incredible custom darkroom fit.
And if you face severe desert heat and want the absolute maximum thermal defense to protect a high-end dash, the $90 Covercraft UVS100 is, without question, the best barrier money can